All right, what's going on, everybody? It is a new week. It's Monday. Sorry for not posting yesterday. Wasn't in the right headspace, but we're good now, and we're gonna get this week cranking out. I actually decided to look at um, what setups were there. What there were setups last night. There were several peaks, but after looking at them, they didn't actually do really much. The only pair that actually did anything was gold. And this one played out perfectly. I just want to kind of recap on exactly what it did. This was the signature trade that I wish I would have been around for, but I was not. So um, we have the setups. Let me move all this so you can see. We have price. I would have done the analysis right about here, right? So if we're looking at the lines here, we're like 3 candles in, 4 candles in. So this is exactly where I would have been. So I would have seen that, okay, peak formation high was set. Structure was broken. So clearly all we're going to wait for is a hit to the 50 EMA, and it would have bounced back down, would have hit off the water and then dropped down to the recent low or towards the 200 EMA. So last night, that's exactly what it did. It shot up. This. Let me actually cancel this. Okay. It shot up, hit a 61.8 retracement zone, perfect to a T with the hidden divergence, was right on the money. Hit the 50 EMA, hit the 1 hour imbalance, hit a 15-minute imbalance, had a 1 hour shark fin. Everything of this trade was literally perfect. It was a 1 to 3. You put your stop loss right above the 78.6, drop it down towards the low, and this was a 105 pip move, right? So this was beautiful. Now we're going to go over some of the setups for tonight. I don't really think there's too much, at least from what I saw so far. I didn't go too far into it, but we're going to take a look. The first one is Euro NZD. And what we're going to do, I started drawing it up because right here, this was a big drop, but it didn't take out the low that I wanted it to. I mean, it wicked beneath it, which I guess someone could consider, oh, it's a break of structure, but it did break this low. Hold up. If I do want to see this drop, it needs to shoot up. Now, because of it being in the position that it's at, I don't think it's just going to go like this, where it's going to hit that 50 and drop. I think it's going to shoot past it a little bit because of how it didn't fully break this low. So we could see a harder retracement up. And I think it's going to hit into the 61.850 zone. Now, if it hits that 50, which is perfect, it's like halfway between the low and the high. We can see it's mostly ideal because this is also where the 1 hour support and resistance zone is. And now it lines up with that 50. So I think it might wick up, hit the 50, bounce off the 50 EMA, bounce off here, and we could either see it wick down in the same candle and drop, or the very next couple candles, it'll drop back down to the recent low. And if it does that, we're going to be looking at, let's see, from here, I'm going to push a pending. What? Is that 140 pips? Yeah, this is your NZD. That's 140 pips. That's pretty fucking solid move. So that's what we're going to be looking for on that. I mean, but you also have to be careful. It is an uptrend and it is bouncing off a 4 hour support and resistance zone. And it's showing some hidden divergence at the same time. So you got price up here. And let me draw it. All right, you got price going up, price going down. And if that's the case, I mean, this would have been like the low. So, and this tells me that it kind of wants to get ready for some sort of consolidation. So at the same time, as I am saying that this could go up and then back down, this could go all the way back up because it's bouncing off the 50. There is hidden divergence, but it didn't do according to the Fibonacci. It didn't give us a solid Fibonacci sequence. So I might hold off on this pair. I'm going to keep my eye on it and see exactly what it does. Now, if it does decide to shoot up, what's going to happen is this. It'll go up, hit that, come back down and continue, or it might hit up here, then we'll look for a complete sell. And I'll know what to do once it moves up to that position. But for now, I'm going to keep this one on the low. It's not the perfect setup, and I don't want to get caught in the middle of if it needs to continue up or if I want to take it for a short down. But I do see how this thing could actually continue down from a daily perspective. We have a bull bear candle. I think it might shoot up and then come back down. This could just be the pullback zone. We just got to find out exactly where that 4 hour zone might be. And we do have an imbalance here. So we got the 4 hour imbalance, the 1 hour, let's see. There's definitely 1 hour imbalance as well. Get rid of these. So we got the 4 hour imbalance that also lines up, or the 1 hour imbalance that lines up inside of here. So we'll see what happens. I want to say it's going to be a sell, but I need a solid break. So we'll come back to this during the call. So if you guys are seeing this, just see where it's at by the time you start watching it. And if it's bounced off this 50 area, then we'll look for that sell. All right. Let's go to Euro AUD. Okay. Oh, this is Euro USD. Whoopsies. So this one's kind of set up the same way. It's consolidating, and I don't like that. I like direction, and this is not direction. This is consolidation. It's bouncing up the 4 hour. This could do the same thing as Euro NZD, where it decides to just go all the way back up. So I'm going to be careful. If it does do this from the 1 hour perspective, so you got two setups. It could either, and this is why I don't really trust it. It could bounce off this area and drop because it's already got hidden divergence starting right now. But if you look here, that last time price got really close to the water and the Mayo, it hit down and then it went all the way back up again. So that exact pattern could play out right here, hit down, drop a little bit, and then continue. So I don't really feel comfortable with these at the moment, but if y'all want to touch it, go for it. Let's go to Euro JPY. So this is the 1 hour. I do like this one, to be honest. This one looks a little bit better. The only thing is it's matched up with the 38.2. Doesn't mean it can't shoot past it. I usually look for the let me fix this. I usually look for it to hit on the 50 retracement of 61.8. Those are like the prime numbers. I have seen it hit off the 38.2 before, but it's not as clear, right? It's not as precise and consistent because the retracements on these setups usually go up a little bit higher. So I don't know about this either, especially since it's saying that this is a peak. Oh, it's calling it a peak formation low. So this is the peak formation low down here. If we go to the 4 hour, it's actually bouncing off of the water right here. But it's not, there's no divergence. There's no hidden divergence at all. Which makes me think that it could continue up, but not in the right way, or it could continue down because this push up here, it got filled in yesterday or Friday, technically. No, this is Sunday, Monday. It got filled in yesterday. So I'm not really in the best position. I think that this could just keep going because we got that. I could probably move this a little bit. What happens if I put it right on the wick? See, I don't want to force it. I mean, it does technically work, but at the same time, I don't want to force it. So that's the 4 hour. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling comfortable with this. I need to see it break. Now, if it does this would be the best time for this. Now, I'm looking for, and let me move these away so that the charts are clear. This is what I'm looking for. I want to see it break this trend line. And then when it breaks, I want to see it then pull back to the water. Because then I can take that shit down to here, to that trend line. Because this is the second trend line and it's matched up with the 800 EMA. That would be my favorite setup. This is too premature. So I'm going to wait for this to drop and then go for that sell. But I don't really feel comfortable with this buy either. So all the Euro pairs, we just need to see what they do to play out. All right, let's give it another day. And then once the day is over, we'll know tomorrow for sure whether or not this is going to drop again or whether this is going to hit up to the top and just consolidate. But yeah, I'm going to wait. Now let's go to cheap JPY. It's all the JPY pairs or Euro pairs. So let's go to that. Now this Chief JPY setup was actually beautiful last week. Whoa. This is where it was. It's actually here. Sorry. So price low, high, and then drop down 61.8. And I took the buy on here on Thursday and crushed this up here. And this was like a fucking 1.5% trade. It was amazing. From the low there to there, 150 pips instantly. Caught all that. That was a 1 full hour. It was amazing, or 4 hour, but it was a couple hours, honestly. But it was great. Still played out. But let's see where we're at now. Okay, I need to fix this again. So it's saying if we're going to be looking for anything, it's bouncing off the 50 right now, but it's also not touching the water. So if I want to take this for a buy at all, this is Chief JPY, right? This is not a pair you want to be selling. And I have been saying this for fucking like a month. Like literally, this is not a pair you want to be selling at all because it's been in a major uptrend. Now, if you want to sell it, you have to wait for one thing to happen and one thing only, and that is a fucking drop behind this thing. If it drops beneath this point, then and only then would I be a little bit more comfortable with sells. Until that point, this is all buys. There's no point in trading against this trend. This shit's going all the way up. Now, I'm going to see what happens. I think it might drop down a little bit more based on the 4 hour. And if it does do that, we're going to have like a pretty much a identical thing of what happened here, but over here. Drops down a little bit past it, just like it did on here. This actually, if you, damn it, let me just show you. From here, you see how the 61.8, this 61.8 line is from the other, or last week. So it literally bounced up off the 61.8, but it dropped down a little bit farther too. So that's what I'm thinking here is that, just gonna delete it. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen here. It's gonna drop down past the 61.8 a little bit and touch that 4 hour. And once it does do that, I'll be looking for my buys. So I might place a pending on the 61.8, or I'll place a pending halfway between the 61.8 and the 78.6. And then have my stop loss pretty much like right beneath it. So it's going to be a tight stop loss on the medium one, but pretty open on the 61.8 zone. And that is going to be a 45 pip stop loss. But if it hits it on the 61.8 and goes all the way back up, you're looking at 167. So it's a 1 to 3. 1 to 3s are perfect. You don't need anything else, honestly. If you can get consistent 1 to 3s, man, like you're fucking killing it. So I like Chief JPY for a buy, but it needs to drop first. So Chief J. Okay. Gold. We just went over this a little bit. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. Okay. So we have a breakdown to the low. Let's go to the 4. Bounced off that catch up. The EMAs are really tight, which I don't really like. It can keep dropping, but I also see some hidden divergence right now. So this could also rise up. Difficult to say at the moment. Gold doesn't have like the best setups overall when it comes to how I look at the market, but it does work with Fibonacci's and hidden divergence. It just doesn't always hit the 50 EMA. So look at that. We have a bigger time frame. Huh. Drew from this high to this. Oh, look at that. That's why I was saying we were looking for buys last week, because it needed to push up to that 50. Look what it did. Holy shit. So this, I totally forgot about this because last week, I don't think I really looked at gold last week. But look, we got the high here, which is this peak on the RSI. And then you have this high up here, which is this peak. Clear hidden divergence and bounced right off the 50 retracement. And the moment it did it, it was instant profit. Like you could have taken this thing down. You would be up 300 pips already, bro. So, and like I said, it doesn't always match up with the EMAs, but it doesn't mean this doesn't work. Now, I have gotten a lot of back testing done with just the Fibonacci retracement, and the Fibonacci retracement on this thing is fucking solid. So the fact that it's sitting there, we have two options. Either going to go right back up to the 61.8 side and then drop, or we're going to see it pull back just a little bit and then drop again. So ultimately, I want to see this thing drop. It's just about finding the right zone for it to do it in. Now, if we're looking for hidden divergence, we do have this point, but it's already lower. We got regular divergence, so I don't really think we're gonna see much. I'm gonna go to the 15-minute. Now we do have some 15-minute hidden divergence. If we go based off of this peak right here, down the low, that 50 lines up with the 61.8, or the 50 retracement lines up with the 50 EMA, and the 61.8 is right above it. So this, I think we're still good on sells, to be honest. It is a peak formation high. So I'm going to stick with what my gut's saying right now. And let's just look for sells, guys. With that 15-minute Bollinger Band or 15-minute Fibonacci retracement, it does make sense. And it's also inside of an imbalance, which is really good. It's inside of 1 hour support or resistance, inside 4 hour resistance. Daily is right above it. This looks really good for sells. Like really good for continued sells. Let me see what the daily one is. Yeah, it just broke out of a daily one, heading back down, and we're gonna look for sells on this. So gold is looking for sells. Okay, let's go to all right. Sorry, I'm looking at something. All right, gold. USDCAD. Oh, bounce right off the 31.8. Interesting. All right, what is this calling for? Peak formation low. Okay. Kind of saw this coming though. All that break, I said I had to retest. So now that we're seeing this, this is making more sense. I can delete this, I can delete this, delete this, delete that, delete this. Now, if we could draw the Fibonacci from here, boom, down. Look at that 50 line lines up. And this is USDCHF. God damn it. Still, okay, no matter what. I just showed you the pair. We're looking for buys on the USDCHF. And where's that on here? Is USDCHF on here? Right here, peak formation low. Yeah, so we're still looking for buys on USDCHF, guys. It's not stopping until it gets up there. So I'm gonna say buys, even though just off of what I just saw, UCHF is definitely buys. Just got to find the most optimal place to actually buy it, which could just be a retest on this 50, which is completely possible, just like I did here. But I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna see how it works and what it does, because it's not like my signature setup, but it's a setup because I know it's gonna go up. All right, let's go back to USD CAD. Oh, wisdom's knocking on the door. Let's go to. Oh wow, bouncing right off the 15-minute right now. Huh. Which this would be here. Oh man. It's like right on it, dude. Almost. Like it barely hit it. But look at that shit. Look at it. Hits right near inside of a 1 hour order block. Or damn, it's not an order block, but 1 hour resistance zone. And it's probably got 1 hour imbalance. No? Interesting. Well, it looks like it's going to actually fulfill it. Every time this happens, this is a perfect setup. This looks like it's going to fulfill it all the way back down. So, and it's a peak formation low from 3 days ago, which is down here. If that's the case, then we need to figure out where it wants to drop. I think it's going to keep dropping. I'm going to draw it from here, actually. Okay. I think it's going to drop down to the low, if not lower. And we're going to see it solid. So USDCAD is bearish tonight. Now, it's bearish right now, but it could drop down to this 1 day zone, and then we'll see a retracement back up. So be careful with this. I want to say we're going to look for some buys, and we look at a higher time frame real quick. It's riding that 800 EMA. It needs to pull back up to this 50 line after bouncing, because usually when it gets to the zone, what does it do? It goes bounce, right? Plays a game. Now it bounced off here. Now we want to see it go back up. But before it does that, we need to see it go down, right? So even though this is setting up for a signature trade right now, we got to see if it's too late or we can get in on a pullback. So I'm going to say, it's hard to say. It's not easy to say because it's already making its fucking move. But if this is going to be a peak, then we're going to see this thing drop down tonight and then or tomorrow morning. Now, I don't know if there's any news that could push CAD. 24th. Wow, there was a lot of news this morning. Holy shit. Didn't know anything about this. Look at that. All red folders. That's insane. So now we got 9:30. Is this EST? Yeah, I think this is EST. Yeah. So this is in 20 minutes. We got AUD news in 20 minutes. We had USD news. Oh no, this is tomorrow. I'm sorry. 10 a.m. tomorrow, or 10 a.m. Eastern, got USD news, and then 9:30 EST tomorrow night, we got AUD news. So yeah, this is gonna drop, and then we're gonna see it bounce off, and we'll see it reverse. But I'm gonna wait for that to happen. All right, GBPAUD. Formation low. Bunch of setups. So I actually told people to take a sell on this last week. I was too premature because I based my sell off of the 1 hour water, which had the setup that I was wanting. It actually did hit the 61.8 zone, but it didn't drop. Right, it continued up and it extended its reach up to the 1 hour. Right, so if we're going based off of that, then this would have been the setup here. From this peak down. It went up to the 78.6 and then tanked. Now I think this actually could continue its move down since we have broken structure, change of character too. Look at that, pull back. So this is most likely going to continue down. Now it's just about finding the exact zone of where this will decide to keep going. We do have some hidden divergence happening right here. The EMAs are really tight, so you got to be careful. Go to there. It's hitting the 50 EMA now, right on the 50 retracement. But I'm definitely gonna say let's continue to look for sells, even though this isn't the setup that I like. It's too choppy. The EMAs are too tight. But I'm gonna say it's still bearish for overall purposes. GBPAUD is bearish. Okay. Let's go to GJ. Like two G Chiefs? No, just go to G Chief. 15-minute, way too choppy. Oh wow. When did I draw this shit up? Went up, hit the 61.8, dropped. Came up, hit the 61.8 again. Too confusing. Stuck in the middle. I don't like it. I'm not touching it. GN. This looks like the same thing. This could drop the same way it did over here. See how it's beneath the 200 EMA and then bounce out the catch up, then tank? This one's doing the same thing. Beneath the 200 EMA, bounce out the catch up. Could potentially tank here. We are seeing some regular diversions, but this actually looks like continuation because of how this is set up. Usually when I see a divergence like this regular, it's usually a continuation down to the low. So now we have this peak here. Now if we're basing it off that peak and not this one, it's be getting pretty close to the zone right as we speak. So either there or here. So I'm gonna be careful on this. Notice how it's stuck in a range right now. I think it's going to maintain this range. So I'm honestly going to be looking for a sell tonight on GN just to maintain the overall ranging it's doing on a 4-hour daily basis. Yeah, look at that. Perfect setups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's most likely going to continue all the way back down for a sell. So yeah, let's look for it to drop tonight. A push up to confirm the hit on the 50 would be amazing, but doesn't always have to do that. It's bouncing off of the 15 EMA as we speak. And that's hidden divergence. Oops. I can go off of this peak. It's already too high though. Or this one, which makes the most sense. Right, look at that. Right off the 61.8 and the 50. So this is going to be looking like a sell tonight, guys. And then AUDCAD. There's not a lot of setups. I already went over. I did AUDCAD before we even hopped on. It wasn't really doing anything. But so far, it seems like all the British pairs, the pound pairs, GBP pairs, they're all looking like they want to keep dropping. This one does too, to be honest. It didn't hit the 50 yet. So, and this is the 1 hour. That means this is the part that we're doing. The hidden divergence on right there, down to the low. We'll wait for it to get up to the 61.8. And we can look for sells. This one's pretty low too. I like this one the most. And this is one of those examples where we could adjust it as it goes. So you can go from this high down. It'll break it, probably break all these ones too, hit that 50 and then drop. So AUDCAD is what we're looking for sells. And we'll look for it to drop back down all the way to the low, and that'll give us a 1 to 3. Okay. AUDCHF, bro. Do I have that pair up at all? I have 2 Euro USDs. Yeah, so I don't need this one. Peak formation high, into 3, drop. 4 hours on the one. The way I'm looking at it. It's a W, didn't take out the low. Oh, this was a perfect setup last week. I actually caught this sell. But I didn't actually catch the sell. I apologize. I knew it was going to drop. Everybody said it was going to rise, but it went too far down. It would have stopped anybody out that placed it. Now, this looks like it could break to the upside, to be honest. It did make a new structure, right? So it's due for a pullback. And I'm guessing that this is the move that's going to make it do that. So we got lead peak there. 61.8, 50 error zone right here. Same with an imbalance that lines up. So yeah, that looks good. I'm saying look for buys on AUDCHF. Chief pairs. All chief pairs are actually going to continue up. Makes me want to go over GBPCHF. What's AUDUSD doing though? Oh. I want that one, so let's go to GBP. Oh no. Okay, it went all the way down to the low that I initially wanted it to go down to because I had a sell over in this zone and it shot up, stopped me out, and then reversed the same day all the way back down to the initial take profit, which was down here. It is what it is. It happens. The daily inside of a daily imbalance, hitting the 50 EMA. It's never a good thing for a continued sell, at least. But we could see it do that. Go here, go to the top. It's actually this. Right. Right in the 38 too. That's the 4 hour. The 1 hour. Looks like it wants to continue down. But it's not in the position I like it, to be honest. It's too choppy. It's too many moving parts here. I just want to see what it does here because it bounced off that 4 hour. So I think it could go up, hit the top, and then we look for that sell. And on top of that, this looks like it lines up this little peak right here. Lines up with that. So I could actually draw this here. Yep. And then it lines up with the 61.8 perfectly. So I'm going to say we're bearish on AUDUSD. Matches with the peak formation high. Let's stick with that. AU is bearish. And I'll stop here after GBPCHF. It's most likely going to be a buy. one do I not want to do? Didn't work the set of that, spread it over this. Is peak formation low? It's the same thing. 4 hour. It's going to push up to the 4 hour. Like that's it. There's no other option it has except for it to go up to there. So we're bullish. I mean, it's really simple. Nothing complicated. We are just bullish on all the chief pairs. So G chief. All right. Well, I'm going to end it here. And yeah, I hope you guys make some money tonight. Let's get back into it. If you guys do make something, please post it in the Align Discord. If you're not in the Discord, click the link in the description. It'll take you right to it and join and start chatting with us. So I will see you guys in the next couple of days. Tomorrow's more for the private group, and then we'll get to it. Peace out.